give it a few minutes to catch up with us because it started streaming. Okay, so we'll do a setup of Corrupt City for 2 players. What we need to know is what colors we're going to use. So we'll flip over each one of these seed stacks, and then we'll get them shuffled. And while Sarah's shuffling those, I'll get the blocks because we only use 4 blocks. And she's drawing 1 card from each of the seed stacks. And then she'll shuffle those and then draw 3, and that'll tell us what colors we're going to use. And I'll put these in here and shuffle up the blocks. And I'll pull out 4 blocks for us.
So we've got red, green, and purple.
All right, those are the 3 colors of companies. So cards that are not those colors, we can remove them from the game because we won't use them. If this is a real game, we put it in the box. Oops, that was the first one. So we only need 4. So there we go with that. And so we also don't need companies that we can remove the companies that don't match. She did that already. And that's the 5s. That tells you the round. So that's the 5th round. I mean, tells you the round of the cards that they are, but we won't have a 5th round, but we still have a 5th round cards. You'll understand it whenever we start teaching. I'll get these special blocks and then shuffle them because we only use 3 of these special blocks in the construction block. Construction block is always in play. Let me shuffle these. And Sarah shuffling the cards. Let's see. Shuffle these. We'll bring these out. And these blocks, these special blocks have special abilities, so they'll affect the game. And
every game will be a little bit different.
We'll delete these seed cards that we didn't use. And we will shuffle.
And the ones that we did use will stay on the board for the whole thing.
Yes. It's a good reference, and if we have a certain block, we'll reference those as well.
Yeah, it's actually this one.
The fleet.
We've got the truck one.
Display.
Yeah.
And then we shuffle these little these construction zones, and we place these in front of those special blocks. Now I'll talk about how these cards go for turn order. You look at this one card here, and it tells you about turn order. In a 2-player game, it says 1 and 2 and 2 and 4. So that means one player gets the 1 card and the 2 card and the other 3 card, and the other player, let me go ahead and blow that up. And the other player is going to get the 2 and 4. This is only in a 2-player game. That's at 2P. So that lets you know that one player is going to get first. In the first round, they're going to go first. And in the 3rd round, they're going to go first. And the other player will go first in the 2nd round and the 4th. And it works the same for the different player accounts. It tells you which cards to give each player, separated by the comma. So in a 3-player game, the first player is going to get to go first in the 1st round and in the 2nd round. It's a little bit asymmetrical, but it balances out just fine.
Right. It's a balancing thing, even though it seems a bit confusing. So I've just put out the trucks.
And what was your rhyme or reason for putting out the trucks?
I just do it 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. Like block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4.
Okay. So in the first block, I mean, how did you separate
this? The trucks are 1s.
Oh, yeah, 1s, 2s, 3s. Okay.
Yeah, just that way.
Okay. And then on the cops, on a 2-player game, we have 4 cops. On a 3-player game, we'll remove this, and it shows that we'll have 1 more cop. So in the 2-player game, we're going to remove those, and we only have 4 cops in a 2-player game. We can remove the meeples if we want to of the non-players. What color are you going to play, Sarah?
I guess I'll just be beige.
Okay. So if we want to,
even though it's so hard to see my cousins,
kind of works as an advantage.
You're right.
Okay.
I'll take whatever I can get.
So we went ahead and removed those since we're not going to be using those. I'll be using this player aid. I mean, the player mat, and she'll be using that player mat. And that's a setup for 2-player. Let me save that real quick because this is the game we're going to play. What's today's date? The 25th?
Mine's Mine's
Yeah,
26.
you're in the future. All right, 23. I'll save that as today's game. Okay, so let's take it back to the
So I
very
just put
beginning.
the goods as well.
Okay, I saved it, so we'll start there in our
Okay.
two-player game in a moment. Okay, the difference is in a three-player game, all of that is pretty much identical. So, except let's just say we had these three seed cards. You choose. You have three seed cards for a three-player game. We'll remove the ones we're not going to use, which would be all of these. But what we need to do is double this stack. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it, and then and that's the
Round 3.
threes, the
Yeah.
round threes, and then round fours we're going to do the same, and then the round fives we're going to do the
I don't
same.
think we need to with round 5s actually because they're only a bonus.
We probably don't. It's probably we've done it in the past, so I guess we won't do it. So we'll just make duplicates of round 3 and round 4 for each of the colors, and then we'll same with the companies. We'll have 3 players, and then just remember what I said about a 2-player game and the 3-player game on the choosing your turn order cards.
Yep. And I think the cop's slightly different again. Don't we have one less? Yeah, one
Yeah,
less. As you can see it from the graphics. And then also where the cousins, where these little meeples will go out, there is another spot open in
for the
the
3 player.
3-player.
Yeah,
Other than that, it's all the
and
same.
then let me go ahead and load it up one more time so we can just talk about the 4-player, and then we will stop the video and then start an actual play. We'll load it up again. Okay, in a 4-player game, there are 4 companies. So you'll do the same beginning setup with these cards, except you use 4 stacks. I mean, you're gonna draw 4 from the stack instead of 3. And then we're gonna go over here with the cards, eliminate the company that's not in play. So we'll eliminate the color and the company and the trucks for that. And then what we're gonna do is duplicate each set of color of cards within the 3 stack and the 4 stack of each set, so that we'll have enough so that people don't run out of cards.
Yep. So it's
And
similar to the 3rd-player setup, except for the fact that you actually use a 4th company, 4 out of
yeah,
5 of the companies. Blocks all the same setup. Again, there's a 4th spot for cousins / meeples, and we use all the cops.
yep. And what else is there? Oh, and you'll just deal out the cards that show you the basically the number on there is your turn order, and the turn order is only used to break ties basically. And then we're doing table order in a clockwise table order. So, if I'm 1 in the first round, the person to my left is going to be 2, and their person to their left is 3, and so on. But it doesn't come into play a whole lot, just only in breaking ties.
Yep.
Okay, so that is set up, and we'll go ahead and turn off the video, and then we'll start an actual play. So hold on one moment while I turn this off, and then we'll start a play.